Oh, Mike, I understand you're taking on a vast corporate empire and ripping the secrets of Hollywood out into the open.
Well, no, I think that was one of the pitfalls that I'm trying to avoid. The book came about as a result of I became involved blogging about the ongoing campaign of the film, and I saw some things that caused me concern. And then after the film was released, and we all know sort of what happened, there was a fan movement that started bubbling up in the days and weeks after the film was released, and a real feeling that an injustice had occurred on various levels. And I had written an investigative series called John Carter, the Flop That Wasn't a Turkey. And it was basically taking the point that there were things that had happened that had caused a kind of a underperformance that didn't reflect on a film that was bad. And so that evolved into the book. And the book, when I decided to do the book, I had to think, what am I doing this for? And just going after Disney was really not, I didn't feel like that was, first of all, it wasn't going to work. And secondly, it was not positive. My goal in all of this, I'm a Burroughs fan from my childhood. This movie caused somewhere around 30 million people around the world to see Barsoom in theaters, and probably an equal or greater number on DVD and Blu-ray. And out of those, there are many who are going to the books and finding the books, and that's what I like, and I want to see that continue. We see that in our Facebook group, which now has, I think, 11,000 people, and there are so many people who didn't know anything about Burroughs and who saw the movie and were curious, and then discovered Burroughs, and they have both the movie and the books to enjoy. So what I'm trying to do is to keep alive the conversation about continuing the film series. I try to make the case in the book that there are many good reasons to consider going forward with the sequel under certain conditions. And also, and basically, I'll quickly hit the main points, which are that one, I go into the issue of the underlying material. There's a perception that Burroughs has been strip mined. You've heard that terminology, that so many people that between Cameron and Lucas and all that. I take the position that they really haven't gotten beyond the surface. There's so much about Edgar Rice Burroughs that these people have in their movies have not really explored. And so we go into that a little bit to kind of show the value of the property. Then we talk about the history, 100 years trying to make this movie. They couldn't get it made until now. And we talk about the production itself, the details of the choices that they made in the adaptation. And then the big one, and the one that everybody is, I think, most acutely interested in, is what happened with the marketing. How in the world did they blunder as badly as they did in the marketing? The point in bringing this up is that in the future, it can easily be corrected. There was evidence of things that work, and Disney didn't follow them. There is evidence of lack of effort on the part of Disney, and it's very, very specific and very, very detailed and very, very well documented. So there's that. But it's not meant to attack Disney. It's just meant to say, okay, you were a little bit asleep at the switch this time, but if you do it right, it can go better. And then finally, the fans. There's the fan approval rate, and the movie was around 75 to 80% worldwide, meaning that many said that they would recommend it to others. And that's a pretty good fan base, and that did not exist before the first movie. And so we talk about that, and then finally I get into, I really make the case for the sequel, and the big issue is they got to bring the budget down. If you know the budget was $250 million, if they can bring it down to $175 million with the sales base that they already have, a case can really be made. And so the book goes into that. So that's it. But my hope for all of this is that it two things. One is it keeps the conversation alive, and maybe, just maybe, the one right person who could actually act on these ideas, like Alan Horn at Disney or somebody like that, or a co-producer in China or a co-producer in Russia, reads it and goes, maybe there's something there. Maybe we should have a conversation. So that's what I'm trying to do with it.